Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. We have to begin. Just let us wait 1 or 2 minutes more. Other students will. Good evening, Shivani. So, let us begin. Sufficient number of students are joined. The first news that we have is Ken Betwa River Intelligence. This is one of our very critical project vis-a-vis, you can say, water security and all. But before understanding this, we need to understand the reason why we have such kind of. Actually, Government of India has a program, National Perspective Plan for River Living, NPP. It is called. It is an NPP, National Perspective Plan. Under this, Government of India is thinking of linking all the rivers, the northern river system, the southern river systems, which are divided. Can anyone tell me which ranges divide northern and southern water system? Any idea to anyone? Yes, Vindhyan and Satpura range, to say. Basically, it divides India. अगर आप देखेंगे, a geographical division of India into north and south, Vindhyan and Satpura. And remember, it's a fault kind of. It's a depression that was created because the Indian plate. इसमें थोड़ा सा plate tectonics का logic पता होना चाहिए. Plate tectonics. Understand like this: you have Earth. So Earth has various component, core, mantle, crust, together. So some part of crust and some part of the mantle. Mantle is also divided into some part of the crust and mantle. They together constitute a plate. It's a lithospheric plate. Lithospheric means land-based plate, and they keep on rotating over each other. They keep on gliding, then moving away, then gliding, moving away. This is a continuous process, and this process happens. This is geography part basically. This movement of plate tectonics. I believe I have supposed to plate. What is plate we are talking about? Let me give you a better view. If this is the earth, this is your crust, this is the mantle. So some part of mantle and crust, this part, together constitute like a plate. And then here you have a material known as asthenosphere. The plastic material. Over this asthenosphere, the plates move. The plates, they move, they collide, they collide and they move, they drift apart. This process keeps on happening. So one of the plate that is currently in collision is Indian plate. Currently, if you know, Indian plate is colliding with the plate Eurasian. Anyone has any idea which plate is going under? Very obvious. जैसे दो चीजें, if two people, for example, come head to head, so obviously बात है, the person who dominates will be superior. Superior person dominates the inferior person. So in this, when two plates collides, one plate goes down, one plate goes up. Yes, Indian plate is going up. बिल्कुल सही. Eurasian plate is going up. Indian plate is going down. However, the density में difference इतना नहीं. Yes, Anjali, you have a question? You raised the hand. Anjali Rai, any question? I believe it was accidental. So Indian plate is going under Eurasian. So based on that, there are two systems that we know currently. India में अगर आप देखो तो we have two river systems, that is the northern and southern rivers. North में you have three rivers, particularly the Indus river system, the Ganges, and the Brahma. इसका do cover the genesis. Initially, all these three rivers were one river. Then the Indian plate collides, it divides. Then again, Himalaya uplifts, it divides. So this three river system were basically created out of one river system, and it's a natural process, keeps on happening. This part was a bit geography, not in detail, but a brief overview for our understanding. I hope this part is clear to everyone. Any questions so far? Okay. So now we need to understand. So it's a, it is in the notes. It's National Perspective Plan for River Living. NPP short name is supposed. National Perspective Plan, which is in the notes also. Let me go down. Yeah. National Perspective Plan. This is the name. Short में हम बोलते हैं NPP. इसको हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. So basically, what is the problem is India में जो rivers है, there are different kind of rivers. I told you two big river system we have, northern and the southern. We classify them. North में you have the Indus, the Ganges, and the Brahmaputra river system. And south में आपकी number of river system जैसे क्या नाम है इसका, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari, these kind of rivers. Up, we need to understand is some rivers जो होती हैं, they are perennial in India. Some rivers are not perennial. Perennial मतलब होता है which flows forever. Perennial means which flows forever. They may have a proper source, they are fed by the water. एक होते हैं non-perennial means which what is water with time, Shivani? Yes, बिल्कुल से non-perennial मान होता है water sometimes comes, sometimes goes. You got the point. There are two rivers, perennial and non-perennial. Now we need to understand. This is some background which you need to have to understand the current news and the significance. What happens? Say, for example, you have a state like Maharashtra, a drought-prone region. You have a state like Assam, a flood-prone region. Assam is frequent. Every few years you hear a flood. Because Brahmaputra has a high amount of water. Also, monsoon period they get water. It's rainforest entirely. So what happens is Maharashtra you have a drought, Assam you have a flood. Same situation arises a lot of part of the country. Where in one region of the country you have floods, in one region you have droughts. This was the biggest problem we were suffering. The government thought, why shouldn't we link the rivers? So that if there is a flood in Brahmaputra river, I can divert their water to Maharashtra. If I link Brahmaputra with the rivers of Maharashtra, then I can easily divert water from Brahmaputra to Maharashtra. So I will achieve two solutions. I will achieve solution to two problems by single goal. Constructing a simple canal linking Brahmaputra and the Maharashtrian rivers, ultimately you can divert water. And added benefits, you can construct dams, you can feed water to drinking water, irrigation, sanitation, जो भी चीजें हैं, there are numerous things which have multiplier impact. So you can say it's a kind of engineering solution to the social problem. I believe सबको समझ में आया what is the logic of NPP. So this is what is going on. That was the logic we had. Nice idea, I believe. So it's an engineering Prashya. So out in that, the first project that we are initiating with the very vigor is Ken Betwa. Ken Betwa, Ken is a river in Maharashtra. Betwa, oh, sorry, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Betwa is the UP river. These river को we are linking. इससे फायदा क्या होगा? That they will feed a region by the name of Bundelkhand region, which it can be fed. Its water scarcity that it faces can be dealt because you have two river systems. Nice idea, very good idea. Apart from मैंने बताया what are that other advantage like we can construct dam from which we can feed to drinking water, irrigation, electricity, whatever may be the requirement. So a lot of problems that we face can be done dealt by this simple river link. But the question comes is then why we are not doing this with all the rivers? What is the problem? There are numerous problems, and which I believe is even more significant. And this problem you can link to the previous issues of we have discussed in previous current event classes, like Joshi Matwala issue. What is Joshi Mat is a classical case. We had discussed in another class. Joshi Mat is a classical case of development without environment. When development gets more precedence than environment, then environment comes to revenge. And when environment or the climate comes to revenge, then the humanity is too weak in front of it. Joshimat is that example. Too much development without caring about the Himalayan fragile ecology. Most important contributor to Joshimat program is Char Dham type of future. Char Dham, there are numerous dam for roadways. Government of India is basically making 4-lane highways in Himalayas. Utter disaster. Economically, I think it may appear sound, but temporary solution. In the name of development, you're compromising environment. You're compromising fragile ecology. For example, Himalayas are a very fragile system, a sensitive zone. For example, 2013 Uttarakhand flood. The 2013 Uttarakhand flood was not a natural disaster. It was a man-made disaster. That year, a report was published by the Ministry of Environment, which highlighted the dam that were constructed in Uttarakhand. देखिए एक चीज आपको समझनी पड़ेगी उत्तराखंड का जो ये केस वी आर डिस्कसिंग इसमें द थिंग दैट वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज क्लाउड बर्स्ट आई होप यू पीपल हैव एनी आइडिया क्लाउड बर्स्ट कोई मुझे बता सकता है व्हाट इज क्लाउड बर्स्ट excessive rain in a very short it happens it can happen due to numerous reasons. For example, rapid uplifting वो सारा आपका environment में cover होता है. This news covers a lot of topics. Cloud burst happen, which is a natural phenomenon. It happens, but because we had constructed dams in Uttarakhand, which did not allow the proper passage of water in proper time, they basically held the water, and immediately when the dam failed, the entire dam was swept away. That created a flood in Uttarakhand. It was again a man-made disaster. But ऐसा नहीं है कि we do not know. Filled. Especially Himalayas. Himalayas are filled with disasters, natural disaster, but natural hazards. Natural hazard याद रखिएगा सब लोग. Natural hazards are common in nature, but they will become a disaster only when humanity interferes. अगर हम interfere ना करें, most of the disaster that you talk about, they are just hazards which because of our self-centeredness, they become disaster. This is the thing that I want to say. In Betwa, what we are doing is we are going against the nature here. How? Let's understand how we are going against the nature. For that, does anyone know anything about meandering? Meandering of rivers. So, मुझे बता सको what is meandering of rivers? Meandering is kind of snake-like movement. You have seen rivers never go in a straight line. They go in a snake-like formation, like something like this. Why they go snake-like formation? Because of various reasons. Most important, the movement of Earth. The Earth rotates, and because of this, our natural force come into play, which we call as Coriolis. Again, I know there are a lot of jargons that are coming here. They are covered in respective subject like geography and environment. अगर कोई भी term you are unable to understand, Anyone, please raise it. So I will try to give you a brief overview, not in detail. Okay, please keep that in mind. So Coriolis force is a kind of force which is due to the rotation and revolution both are counted, but rotation is primary. The Earth rotates on its axis, and that create a kind of movement effect that we call Coriolis force. Has been named. That effect has been named Coriolis force. That plus there are numerous other things. For example, some kind of barrier. Rivers have a tendency to cut vertical and horizontal. Combining all these effects, the rivers tend to meander. What we will do in Kane Betwa, we will create a straight line. It may bend, but not naturally bend. So what we are doing, we are going to construct permanent canals, and canals are properly lined. I hope you have seen canal, ऐसे होती है canal. And here you have proper lining of bricks, concrete, proper lining. It is unchangeable. First, you are going against the nature. Nature does not decide something so perfect. Nature decides things in anomalies, haphazard. पहला तो problem here. So it is against nature. Let's see the second problem. The second problem that is with all the project that government does, that is development compromising environment. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? There are some tiger reserve, like Panna tiger reserve. They will get flooded. You are dividing a reserve. उसके लिए you need to tell me first. Under which law we declare wildlife sanctuary, tiger reserve, and national parks? Any idea? Under which law? ये एनवायरनमेंट में डिटेल में होता है, तो इफ यू डू नॉट नो डोंट वरी. No one has no idea. Yes. Wildlife protection. याद रखिएगा सब लोग. Under Wildlife Protection Act, you create national parks. Wildlife sanctuary includes tiger reserves. And keep you need to know for prelims basis what is national park, what is wildlife sanctuary, what is the difference between them. ये सारा चीज environment में cover, not for our purpose. So Panna tiger reserve is a kind of you can say wildlife kind of. So what will happen, because it's cane beta, it will get flooded. You are dividing a reserve for your. इससे नुकसान क्या होगा? That's the report by Ministry of Environment. Before giving a go ahead to this project, they instituted a committee to see cane beta, to see whether we should go with this or not. That committee neither agreed, it neither said yes, it nor said no. Diplomat ऐसे ही करते हैं. Diplomatic language. They neither said yes, they nor said no. They did not say do not go for the project, but they also did not say do not go for the project. Why? Because they said if you construct this link, no doubt advantages. Electricity, irrigation, drinking water, flood and drought management, बहुत सारे benefits. Disadvantages, a large number of critical flora and fauna will be lost. And all the issues that I am discussing, they are for all development projects. Loss of fauna and fauna, compromising, challenging nature by man-made simplicity. These some point ऐसे हैं, you can blindly put them in every environment topic. कुछ भी environment का topic हो, कोई भी question हो. You can put these are ubiquitous point, always available, always putable. So यहाँ पे तो particularly committee has said this, that flora and fauna will be lost. Now we need to understand here another technical term. The term is, I believe आप लोगों को पता होगा, diversity of ecosystem. I know a lot of science and technical stuff is coming here. Ecosystem को समझिएगा. अच्छा, anyone has any idea what is ecosystem? कभी सुना है इसके बारे में? Online people, any idea what is ecosystem? No one? पता नहीं है. तो देखिए इकोसिस्टम को आप समझ सकते हैं, इट्स अ सेल्फ कंटेन्ड यूनिट ऑफ नेचर. इससे सिंपल डेफिनेशन नहीं है. It's a self-contained unit of nature. Means this unit can survive by itself. But for that, there must be diversity. There must be predators, there must be trees, there must be carnivorous, herbivorous, including minute microorganisms. So in the attempt to save human life, we are compromising flora and fauna, which may become necessary in future. It is हमेशा याद रखिएगा, always keep this in mind. The damage that we make to environment, we may not face the burn of it, but our successive generation will surely face the problem. Surely, it's written in the concrete. You can say written on the rock. The compromise of environment, because human life is short. My life कितनी होगी? ज़्यादा you will live 90 years, not more than that. At most, I am saying you can live to 90 years. This is the upper age मान के चलिए. India में life expectancy at birth is around, I think, 69 years. An average Indian at birth is expected to live 69 years. मैं कहता हूँ 90. This is nothing for nature. For nature, 90 years is like a blink of an eye. The way you blink, similarly for nature, 90 years is nothing more than a blink of an eye. So the damage that you are causing today may be disaster tomorrow. How? मान लेते हैं you have lost some XYZ species. Some XYZ species you have lost in this process. अब that species, जैसे you got corona today, maybe future में some disease may come. Some disease which was never known to humanity, like corona, this version of corona was not. उस समय में हमें एहसास होगा कि this plant that we lost because of our cane betwa project, it could have saved humanity. I am exaggerating, but this is how it works. आपको logic समझ में आ रहा है? The compromise of environment and ecosystem, why it is critical. Clear everyone यहाँ तक? Just a second, everyone. I'm sorry for the disturbance. I think audio is clear. There is no much noise. Voice clear आ रहा है without noise. ठीक है. So we were discussing something, but we are cool. So this is how the project is going on. So यही main criticism है. Let me give you a quick summary of all the criticism that we have understand. Then we will move to the third criticism. So far we have understood what is cane betwa. It's a part and parcel of a big project that is NPP, National Perspective Plan, under which government is thinking of linking all the river systems that we have, starting with cane betwa and some few projects, small projects. The main purpose is to link all the rivers. The reason is many. The first reason is to prevent drought somewhere, flood somewhere, provide irrigation water, provide drinking water, provide electricity, and navigation. Keep the channel navigation. Numerous advantages, economic, social advantage, no doubt. Problems. Every problem we discuss, it is against nature. It's man-made simplicity for nature. Second problem is loss of diversity, and which is even bigger threat than going against nature directly. Third problem, that is social in origin. अब इसके लिए थोड़ा सा वी हैव टू स्टॉप एंड गो ऑफ इट, तो हमें समझना पड़ेगा डैम्स की, तो इसमें डैम वगैरह भी इन्वॉल्व है। व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम, कोई मुझे बता सकता है व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इन कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ डैम्स? बल्कि डैम्स आर वेरी एफिशिएंट एंड इफेक्टिव मैकेनिज्म, व्हाई? यस, अभय इज राइट, डिस्प्लेसमेंट। व्हाई? देखिए क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज अ रिवर, यू कंस्ट्रक्ट अ डैम, so because of construction of dam a water piles up, it becomes like this. Change the river, it go, this is the upper layer of the river. Yes, Krishna, because of construction of dam you increase the water gets submerged, this new profile comes into. And not only this, if you look at from width wise, if this is the river and because you construct dam, it will be like this. If it is 1 kilometer long, it may be 10 kilometers long, no guarantee depending upon the size of the dam. So a large area, only 1 kilometer of the land was flooded in terms of width, and the profile also changed. But now in terms of width, it is 10 kilometers. So 9 kilometers you have subsumed. Exaggeration, but ऐसे कुछ होता है. So अब इसमें problem क्या? A large number of again flora and fauna will be lost. They will get flooded. Most important thing, a large number of people have to be displaced. And this is the reason for protest against, for example, Narmada Bachao. Narmada Bachao mein people were less concerned about Narmada itself. They were concerned about two things. Pehla, flooding, which will kill a large number of flora and fauna. Second thing is displaced humans. And सबसे बड़ी problem that we have because of a government of India is their track record of resettlement is pathetic, utter pathetic. So Swarnim, we may be in Amrit Kal according to the government, but their track record is very, very, very poor. And this is the biggest problem. That it will displace a large number of people. Such kind of, agar all the rivers have to be linked, they will displace people. And government the track record does not inspire anyone whatsoever. Everyone clear on the three issues with river linking? Okay. Baki fourth issue, which I don't think is a very big issue. Fourth issue is economic issue. The money that you require for linking, iska I don't think is a big issue. You can tax the rich people. I hope सबको याद है previous class में a very important report we discussed, Oxfam. तो याद है previous class में we discussed very 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 critical report, very important for the GS paper 3. Yes, वही 5 वाला. Yes, the report name is, कोई बता सकता है मेरे को what was the name of the report? Does anyone remember? Yes, survival of the richest. Very very important report. और ये तो आपको पता ही, this issue is widely linked. It is not only linked to your economy and geography वगैरह. This issue are also linked. We have discussed the concept. I hope you remember soft dictators. The rise of soft dictators, the 2008 crisis. वो सारा जो हमने link किया था. These people are responsible for attack on US Congress. The people attacking US Congress. These people are responsible for protest in entire Europe. These people are responsible for the right-wing politics around the world. These people are responsible for the attack on Brazilian institution that is currently happening. These people are responsible for a lot of things, and the reason is survival of the richest. उसमें अच्छी रिपोर्ट दी थी, उसमें हमने क्या कहा था? If government of India put a 5% tax only on 10 people, 10 richest people in India, it will generate sufficient money to send everyone to school. And also it can generate money to feed Indians for 3 years. ज़्यादा नहीं है, but would the government of India will tax 5%? Do you think? Why? No तो ठीक है, why? अब वो तो ठीक है, इलेक्शन फंड होता है, पता है, कोऑपरेटिव फंड करता है, कॉमन सेंस. Yes, Abhay, that is what I was looking for. Neoliberal orientation. We understood we live in a neoliberal world, and this government is highly neoliberal. The way you have Reagan, Ronald Reagan was a US president who initiated neoliberal reforms in USA, and he is considered responsible for today's US's condition. The people fighting the internal dissent going in USA. And same reform was initiated by Margaret Thatcher. She was the Prime Minister of UK. So Reaganism in USA, Thatcherism, Thatcher with ISM. Thatcherism in UK, and India में you can say Modiism. हालांकि these reforms were initiated by Narasimha Rao 1981 में, but today you can say this government has taken it to the other extreme, neoliberal orientation. So these are the issues. तो इसको हम कर सकते हैं कितना केन बेतवा करना है यार, लगा दो 1% tax to the richest 10%. Put 1% tax to the richest 10%, you will get sufficient money to make all the level linking. So I don't think economy is the problem here. The biggest problem we have to understand in this so-called engineering solution to our problem is against nature, loss of diversity, and social problem. Okay, so clear all the issues, why and everything. ठीक है, तो ये हमारा this is the news that we have to understand and the broad context that I want to dictate is हुई. बाकी आप जल्दी से न्यूज देख लेते हैं. न्यूज कुछ नहीं थी. द केन बेतवा रिवर लिंकिंग प्रोजेक्ट के लिए एक मीटिंग हुई है. द मिनिस्टर ऑफ सोशल मिनिस्टर ऑफ जल शक्ति मिनिस्टर ऑफ जल शक्ति presided the meeting and ultimately they call it a flagship project critical for water security and socio-economic development of Bundelkhand region, which I highly doubt. Socio-economic maybe, but environmentally, which I highly doubt. Anyway, बाकी all the details are here. As I told you, multi-purpose dam. This area will be flooded and all. This is the graph. If you Madhya Pradesh, UP, this is the Betwa, this is the cane, and this is the link that is going. And the thing is, all the things that I discussed, ecology and wildlife conservation, the problem. NGT may give a judgment against this. Panna Tiger Reserve will be flooded. Like a submergence of around 9,000 hectares of land, which is, I believe, a significant part. Okay, wildlife sanctuary, economic, social, legal issues. Anyway. So that news is clear. Any question किसी के भी mind में about any term we use, कोई भी question हो, please tell me. And again, keep in mind, it's a very significant thing. याद रखिएगा, NPP National Perspective Plan is a very important project. You must know this project. Direct question may come. If not direct question, then it's a very good footer material. It's directly it can be used in, I would say, virtually the point that you have studied here, you can use in virtually every environment topic. Virtually every. Ethics paper. Next time हमारा भारत OS. अब ये क्या ड्रामा है? पहला तो OS. OS means operating system. Now you people have to tell me what is operating system. मैं ऊपर रखता हूँ. बताइए. What is OS? I believe सबने सुना होगा ये term. At this point, I want to tell you one thing. EIA फिर वो पूरा हमें करना पड़ेगा. मैंने पहले previous Saturday में मैंने करवाया है. The problem that we are having here is government is diluting the laws. जैसे आपका forest right है. अब आपने बोला तो मैं बता ही देता हूँ. There are various acts of coalition government. I told you coalition government has empowered the people. Forest right act, right to education, right to information, all the acts which empower a common citizen of India, all were passed during coalition government. And whenever India had a strongman government, all laws were diluted. इसी में आप देखेंगे तो फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट है, उसके अलावा आपके पास फॉरेस्ट एक्ट है आपके पास. These acts में there are too many amendments, and इसमें EIA की जहाँ तक आपने बात करी, it is called environment impact assessment. इसमें what happens is whenever development project has to be done, उसमें क्या होता है, the government evaluate the environment impact. But the problem that has happened is government has excluded projects of national importance. अगर government of India tags some project as national importance, same thing happened in चार धाम योजना. चार धाम में same thing happened. The government had a motive of linking चार धाम with four lane highway, which appears a good idea but a disaster. A number of petitions were filed in Supreme Court. The government is diluting law. They are bending the laws and all. But ultimately, Supreme Court gave a stay. Then Supreme Court gave a go ahead, and we saw what happened. Similarly, EIA में क्या हो रहा है? if government of India can exempt some project of national importance, strategic significance, they can exempt. यहाँ पे EIA में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अगर होती थी पहला नंबर तो होता नहीं, होता है तो it is so flawed, a lot of time the process that has to be followed in EIA नहीं follow, तो ये अपने आप में ही अलग प्रॉब्लम है। क्लियर है, उसके लिए फिर हमें अलग से करना पड़ेगा। But I have covered EIA in previous, I don't know, a few months back. So yeah, again we will cover. अच्छा, I was asking OS, किसने बताया नहीं, what is OS? Please tell me what is OS. I know iOS, cool. Yes, kind of आप कह सकते हैं, it's a basic software. Operating system, it's a kind of basic software, the basic software that tells the system to work. जैसे आपका कंप्यूटर में there's so many parts, the RAM, the hard disk, the motherboard, the processor, the other integrated circuits. So it manages everything. Yes, the basic software that manages all the hardware to run it in a system. अब why I'm telling this? Very basic idea. देखिए याद रखिएगा, interview is nothing more than what you know. Interview is personality test. वहाँ पे interviewers they often talk about the things that are near you because you have prepared for UPSC. They have not. Most of them are retired civil servant. Maybe कुछ भी हो सकता है, but they are unaware of the current syllabus. ज्यादा लोग स्ट्रेस भी लेते हैं, वो क्या करते हैं, सुबह न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ के आते हैं, whatever they know they ask. आपका they see your DAF detailed application form, वहाँ पे जो भी लिखा होता है, based on that whatever they know, they start asking the question. And उसमें most of the question they ask from around yourself. खासकर मान लीजिए if you say I am from science background, उस केस में they can ask, you have a phone, you will say yes, they will ask which OS it has. अब वहाँ पे आपको OS ही नहीं पता, you can answer why Ukraine war is happening, but you cannot answer what is in your phone, what it tells about you. तो बात समझ में आ रहा है? How personality test में why people get 100 marks? I've seen people who have scored excellent toppers marks in mains answer writing, interview में 100 marks, मतलब 100 तो पता नहीं, I don't know what he said, देखिए 150 is average, 100 का मतलब I don't know what he said, and mains में he scored highest mark, that's why he could be in the last of the list. अगर वो यहाँ पे 150 भी लिया था ना, he would be among the top 100 students because he scored so low, but he scored highest mark, one of the highest marks in it. So everyone clear, personality is about what we have around. Your depth is your personality, उसको study करना होता है. Why I ask this? Because we need to know. It's a very basic thing. हर दिन we use computer, every day we use smart watches, we use phones. They all have OS, and you do not know OS, problem है, कहीं problem है. At OS. अब you have to tell me. I believe somebody said iOS. iOS is the name of operating system of Apple. Similarly, you have an operating system by the name of Android. These are basic systems that control the device. Above it, you can install various software or which you call apps. तो ये तो हो गया आपका technical part. Next, we have to come to the part of security of the nation. I discussed this in previous Saturday when we were discussing Canon Chinese app. I told you there, apps, mobile phone, they are a tool of mental subjugation. We all are born with a clean slate. में से कोई भी remember, we are neither born male, female, Hindu, Muslim, whatever. We are born like a clean humans. It's like a slate. Then people start writing on them. And then how we are, you and I are born. हमारी जो personality है, it is a part and final culmination of our experiences. Whatever you studied somewhere, some book you studied, some teacher you had, some family experiences you had, some personal relationship experience you had. उन सबका accumulation है your personality, nothing more than that. तो इसमें बहुत अच्छा tool होता है OS का. Imagine if I have a Chinese concept, इसमें I am running some Chinese app. They can control my thought process. They can feed me data which will make me think like Chinese idea. For example, आजकल South Korean shows are getting very popular. I believe आप में से भी some of you also watch the South Korean shows. They're getting very popular nowadays. India, में there a lot of new kids are kind of BTS army and all. So what is happening is because of the South Korean show, your ideas of beauty, your your ideas of beauty, your ideas of love, your ideas of fear, your ideas of marriage, सारे बदल जाएंगे. You will no longer be embedded in the Indian ethos. You will be embedded in the South Korean ethos. Their view about the society, the marriage, the relationship, your friends, everything. Those standards will become your standards. इसे बोलते हैं mental subject. This is how West runs the world. All the companies that you talk about, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, they all are Western companies. And that is why they provide for free. YouTube free क्यों है? Google free क्यों है? GPS free क्यों है? These services are free. They are all on US services. But this is how they control your thought process. They can make you believe in something whether you like it or not. And that's why we ban Chinese. We did not want them to teach Chinese values. I was supposed to security dimension of having our own OS. इसलिए भारत सरकार इंडस्ट्री वैसे जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं घूंघट की मैं बात करता हूँ. घूंघट आई बिलीव एवरीवन अंडरस्टैंड. घूंघट the women, especially North India, they have to keep their face covered by sari and whatever they wear. Ghungat practice. Okay. A lot of people today oppose Ghungat practice. Wheel, kind of wheel. Wheel but properly Muslim mein chalata, so I was not using this word. A lot of people oppose that. A lot of women included. So how your standard became, how you think that Ghungat is suppression of somebody's identity. I'm not saying it is not wrong. मैं नहीं कह रहा कि आप जो कह रहे हैं कि this not right. Yes, it is right. I also accept that in the narrative. But how you get to know this? Who told you? Because you've seen Western movies. Who saves the world in Western movies? Avenger आप देखते कौन बचाता है दुनिया? US सेव करता है. एक चीज याद रखिएगा everyone. We all are dominated by US values. US standard of liberty. Your standard of openness, your standard of everything. We all are dominated by that, including our judiciary. I am talking about you and me. Everyone is dominated by that. The judiciary recently they have approved a Delhi High Court judge. He's a gay. Yes, as transgender gay. That person has been approved. Government for assist कर रही है. That person has been Supreme Court has reiterated for his upliftment to a Delhi High Court. How? These were the people who once were considered excluded. Now they are being promoted to judiciary because even judges are influenced by Western values. Again, I'm not saying they are wrong values, but I'm saying this: we all are influenced. Everyone is clear on security dimension. They can change your ideas. What is their books? Books पढ़ते हैं, they study books. Facebook, Twitter, जिनसे values आती हैं, आपको बढ़ता है forward. Everything Western control. आप books पढ़ते हैं, most of the scholar are Western. बट बहुत से जो धर्म गुरु है, मैं गवर्नमेंट की पर्टिकुलर नहीं, और गवर्नमेंट में दी गवर्नमेंट इज टेकिंग एन एक्सक्यूज. और सोच पाते कि ये तो कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं होता. वी नो आई एम टेलिंग यू फॉर एग्जांपल, इसमें लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट आल्सो. एक आर्गुमेंट दिया जाता है फॉर एग्जांपल दिस सोनिया गांधी को लेके, व्हेन शी वाज टू बी विद द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, ना पीपल वर अपोजिंग हर, सम पीपल वर अपोजिंग हर बिकमिंग द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, व्हिच आई डोंट बाय इट, बिकॉज़ दे से अ फॉरेन वुमन, एंड राहुल गांधी का ये पोजीशन होता है, अ सन बोर्न आउट ऑफ फॉरेन वुमन कैन नॉट बी लॉयल. इस हिसाब से तो nobody is loyal, because I believe all girls leave their house to the husband house. इस हिसाब से तो husband house वाले will never give anything to their son. A girl who leaves her house to go to the husband's house, she become loyal to that house also. That is what I am saying, Daman. ये तो कोई excuse नहीं है. They basically they are doing this to appease the cultural people. उन्हें पता है आप नाम नहीं ले सकते because you cannot appear backward. आपको you have to maintain backwardness as well as your vote bank, and your vote bank, you know what their vote bank is. जानबूझ के they are opposing and they are taking such argument. ये कोई argument नहीं. If that person is of premium quality and Supreme Court believes that person can become a judge, who are you to say? आप अगर कोई अगर argument है, for example, you question their integrity, you believe they have leaked data, तो बात अलग है. But ऐसा कोई baseless argument I don't buy it. Nonetheless, I am also influenced by Western values. आपको समझ में आ रही है बात व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? सिक्योरिटी डायमेंशन दैट आई एम डिस्कसिंग। तो ये है इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट, this cultural security dimension, other dimension, we have made a OS, Bharat OS. इसमें I will suggest you, please, whatever mobile phone you use, know basics about it. Like for example, what is RAM, what is ROM, what is hard disk, जो भी basic detail, no scientific detail, basic detail. What kind of OS it use, how it is different from other OS, and what kind of network technology it use. आजकल 5G की बहुत बात हो रही है. You need to know what is 5G, what are the components. Maybe ask directly. UPSC directly, UPSC often asks in prelims and mains also such kind of questions which are very ubiquitous, which are around yourself only. कोई आसमान से नहीं गिरते. And for example, I believe 4G. सबको 4G तो पता ही होगा. Can anyone tell me the full form of 4G? It's a mobile network. Anyone? Fourth generation तो full form होगी, ठीक है. Technical name. इसको technical. Does anyone know the technical name of 4G technology? Yes, बिल्कुल सही है. अबे LTE. Long term evolution. This you must know, yeah. It is on your phone that bars of network के ऊपर बड़ा सा LTE लिखा हुआ है. This network has a problem that it could transmit only data, not voice, and that's why this LTE 2.0 is old. It is evolution over LTE. LTE could only transmit data, not voice. So the LTE 2.0, the second generation of LTE is volt, voice over LTE. It's a basic fact, no technical detail, but you need to know these facts. कहीं भी पूछ सकते हैं and then it will be a humiliating situation. They will be like यार यही नहीं पता you're using a phone. So similarly 5G technology. What are the basic details gather? What is 5G? What kind of technology? Is it an evolution over old technology or something else has done? थोड़ा basic detail. अब जल्दी से let me summarize the news. Bharat OS is the operating system for PC made in India, and Bhar OS, BAHAR OS, is a OS for made in IIT Madras for mobile. So we have two OS. एक है Bharat OS that is made for PCs, Bhar OS that is made for mobile. Both will achieve security, very good security, because now we do not have to depend, for example, on Microsoft. अब इसका significance समझिए. Microsoft is basically used virtually in every PC. Few PC now use the Apple system, but most of the PC, even in government खासकर, you will find PC, normal Windows PC. 99% market is dominated by Windows PC. There was a program in US, PRISM program. US government initiated a program, software was created and a law was passed in US under which, using this program, US government can snoop in any server in US. The law of US said under PRISM program that any server that is located on the US soil, US can access data into, चाहे किसी का भी, whosoever data that be. Now imagine, so many people they use Gmail, Google में पता क्या क्या इस्तेमाल करते हैं. That's why Gmail is free because US government can snoop in whenever it wants. Whenever you want to access your data, it can snoop in. You send critical data from your Gmail, and a lot of time government officers also do this. Imagine a security officer sending something from a secure server of Gmail, WhatsApp, जो भी है. US can decode it and can know what a secret project is being sent. And that's why we are trying to switch to our own system so that we control the system, we control the data. Clear सबको the two system that we have created. एक चीज याद रखिएगा, that Bharat OS that is for mobile, it is made on Android technology. It is on Android open source. AOS. I hope everyone clear. So this was a significant. नहीं, अब बेसिकली देखिए नॉर्मल केस में गवर्नमेंट नहीं करेगी. फॉर एग्जांपल यू एंड आई, ज्यादा डिक्टेटरशिप की बात आ गई तो रिमेंबर वन थिंग, नो फ्री चॉइस इज अ मिथ. आई होप सबको याद होगा, आई टॉक्ड यू अबाउट हाउ फेसबुक डेटा वाज यूज्ड टू फॉर ट्रम्प्स इलेक्शन, हाउ ट्रम्प बिकेम द प्रेसिडेंट. सोचिए, यू थिंक यू चूज योर पीपल. बहुत ट्विटर फाइल्स हैं. अभी आप रिसेंट ऐसे देखिए, आई बिलीव अभी एक न्यूज आई है, हिंडनबर्ग रिपोर्ट. इस पे बड़ा ड्रामा चल रहा है। Hindenburg Research published a report, comprehensive report on Adani. I can neither verify nor certify the claim because I do not have the money like him to fight the case. Adani ji pe they have, yes, they got down. But imagine this. They have basically put that he has pulled the world largest corporate fraud. World sorry, largest corporate fraud in India's history. World largest. Now two dimensions are here. पहली dimension है, याद रखिएगा, it's indeed a Western agenda, no doubt. वरना Facebook, Google, they do bigger crime than this company. ऐसा नहीं Adani is the only person. Facebook, Amazon, they are known criminals. They are all social psychopaths. Look at the numerous reports you will find. For example, Volkswagen पे कितना बड़ा ड्रामा चला था. Volkswagen falsely published his report about the pollution by its car. It was penalized later on. Apple was fined for having a sweetheart deal with Ireland. They bribed the government of Ireland for tax savings. Facebook has been fined. All companies are basically all corporates are known for this kind of thing. Then why only singling out Adani? Because they do not like Walmart. सबने bribe किया हुआ है. They do not like an Indian company to become the third largest. Bilkul, there is a dimension. No, I'm not denying there is no Western bias. Yes, there is. But there is another thing. The genuine cause also. Now, मान लेते हैं they have biasness, but isn't it the responsibility of government of India to investigate? इतनी बड़ी report पे तो by now there should be a proper open investigation. कैसे हुआ ये? If we would have been a country of rule of law, अब तक हो जानी चाहिए. ठीक है, you said it, मैं कह नहीं सकता था, you know, because I told you ना, बिहार में वाईफाई भी नहीं, क्या फायदा होगा? तुरंत आजकल you know UPSC से तुरंत लग जाते हैं. Nonetheless, so Hindenburg report, this is one of the example. अब imagine this. इसमें क्या है? The US control data, so they could control Hindenburg. I am guaranteed you 90% data Hindenburg report का होगा. It has come from US servers. The files, the documents that Adani company may have used using US cloud services. उसमें से उन्होंने data निकाला होगा guaranteed. Anyway, so these are the concerns that we are having. So we are using, most of the time we will use this for government agency. Individual के लिए नहीं होगा. You can keep using GPS, free service, Gmail इस्तेमाल करिए because you are individual, you are not that important, and neither government care nor US government. तो आपका data की किसी को परवाह नहीं. Nonetheless, but government data is critical. तो उसके लिए government will switch to its own system to secure its. Now this dictatorship argument इसके लिए अब है. So that was the second news. I hope everyone is clear on both news. Any questions so far? Cool. So next news देखते हैं rubella and measles. इसको करने के लिए there is a bigger dimension. This is a small news. There is a bigger dimension to this. The issue of generic medicine. The two issues, and I will combine this with another news that we have to cover today. Generic medicine are nothing but the medicine which are out of patent. We can produce them en masse. So rubella and measles की जहाँ तक हम बात करें, these are two diseases, and you can call them poor people disease. You can call them poor people disease. Government of India has declared the goal to eradicate measles and rubella by 2023 because we missed the deadline. Previously, we had a target 2020. Now we are trying to see 2023. Some genuine reasons are there because Corona came, so all of pandemic and all wala situation. So genuine reasons we have. ऐसा नहीं है. Nonetheless, so let's understand what is rubella and measles. Sorry, rubella and measles. Measles में primarily it's a viral disease. On that, you need to tell me first what is virus. कोई बता सकता है मुझे? What is virus? Okay, non-living organism, Shivani Singh. Any other opinion? No host of its own. Survive and grows than the host. Yes. Please everyone remember when I have discussed this earlier also. Virus is both non-living and living. It's both. How? For example, if let's say there is a virus on the tip of the pen, it is non-living. It does not do anything. When this virus will get into my body, it will start replicating. A virus requires a host to live. Why? Because it does not have its own metabolism. The way you and I, we eat food, it gets into our body, it gets broken down into its fundamental component, then it goes to a bloodstream, then to the cells. This entire metabolism. They do not have. So इसमें एक statement आती है. I have to ask you. You have to tell me whether this statement is right or wrong. There was when Corona was going on, there was a minister, BJP minister. He said that even virus has the right to live. Timing was wrong. Timing galat. I agree because a lot of people were dying उस समय में you become technical तो that's why you should be mostly intelligent also. हर जगह हर चीज नहीं बोली जाती. Yes, it's the right statement. देखिए for a virus does not care about. Virus does not have a personal animosity with your mother, your brother, your sister, your father, your husband, your wife. It does not have any animosity with anyone. The way you do not care about while eating a chicken. This is a chicken, that is also a living thing. That's a food for you. Take that food to because you're a athlete, you have to get fat and whatever. You eat a chicken. The same way the virus eats you. उसके लिए you are nothing more than a food that you have. तो समझ में technical it's a right because virus के लिए you are nothing more than a tool to replicate and all living thing याद रखिएगा. All organism, the nature has put only one destiny in the organism, that is to replicate themselves. You have to replicate so that you can survive. And survival is a very strong instinct. Okay. So this statement was right nonetheless. Wrong timing, we can say that. So virus ko yaad rakhiye is living and non-living. The current we are talking about is measles. What is measles? It's a single-stranded RNA virus. RNA. We have discussed this earlier also when I was discussing that gene editing technologies. किसी को याद है DNA editing technology? तो बताइए नाम बताइए. What was the name of DNA editing technology? Yes, CRISPR-Cas9. Those who do not know, please remember this. CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR is the name of technology. Cas9 is the protein. Like you can say, it is the scissor. It is the scissor you use to cut the DNA to edit it. And CRISPR is the name of the technology itself. If there is a package, the name of the package, for example, you have a phone of Nokia. The Nokia name is CRISPR is the name of the phone. The technology of the phone is Cas9. इस तरीके से. कोई मुझे बता सकता है RNA की कौन सी? What are the RNA editing technologies? We discussed two technologies. DNA का everyone remembers. RNA का often forgets. आज भी किसी को याद नहीं. ये हमेशा होता है. Please RNA का भी याद रखिए. It is not so bad for you. हाँ, yes. RNAi and antisense. There are two technologies. I माने interference. There are two technologies of RNA editing, RNAi and RNA antisense. Please remember both technologies. These are three main technologies. So RNA के other is nothing but single strand. DNA is like a double strand. That's the critical difference. The DNA is the genetic makeup. RNA use DNA to create proteins. Translate. इस समझिए. DNA is like a book. So I would be RNA, reading a book and telling you that I will be RNA. Book is the DNA, and you will be the protein. And logic is clear. Everyone clear. DNA, RNA, and few things I discussed. तो बस ये थोड़ा science and tech background था, which anyway your science and tech teacher will also cover, but I just covered it. So this is what you need to know. Measles. Measles क्या है? It is nothing but a viral disease that is based on a single-stranded RNA. Single-stranded RNA. And why I call it a poor people disease? Because it works on the children with malnutrition and weak immune system. And it is directly because of disadvantage. You cannot have got proper food. So मुझे timing बता सकता है? We have discussed earlier mother and child nutrition. What is the golden year of child and mother nutrition? golden year which decides the entire future. Timing क्या थी? Roughly around 28 weeks in pregnancy to 1,000 days. 28 weeks in pregnancy to the 1,000 days of birth. This is known as the golden period of child. In this period, if you let me give you an analogy, if government of India invests 1 rupee in this period for nutrition and everything, it can save at least 100 rupees in health and education. At least I'm saying it may be even 1,000. This is the critical investment because a kid who get better nutrition get ills less. Get ills less, so hospital expenditure, the government hospital, because these are poor people, they have to spend on their health, wo kam ho jayega. That if that kid will get ill less, that kid will go to school more. School more means more education. More education means better. 1 rupee you invest here is a direct 100 rupee out. Very critical. तो यहाँ पे malnutrition weekend चल रही है. इनके लिए we have to work. तो government क्या कर रही है? Government has started a program by the name of Mission Indradhanush. At this point, please differentiate Mission Indradhanush versus Indradhanush scheme. दोनों दो both are different. तो मुझे बता सकता है but is Indradhanush scheme. अच्छा बताइए about which sector we have Indradhanush? Any idea? नहीं. Agri भी नहीं है, education भी नहीं है. Any other? Vaccination के लिए ये है. Mission Indradhanush is for vaccination. I'm talking about Indradhanush scheme. नाम सेम है इसलिए a lot of time people get confused. उसमें you may mark the wrong answer. Don't confuse that. Health के लिए भी नहीं. Option. चलो option देख लेते हैं. Bank कुछ sorry. Social security. Abhinav is saying social security. कोई और बता सकता है मुझे what are the option? अब तो अक्कड़ बक्कड़ बम्बे वो कर दो. दमन बैंक बिल्कुल सही. बैंक के लिए है. याद रखिएगा there are 7 points of reform for bank. नहीं social security नहीं बैंक. Please do इसलिए I'm telling you do not confuse in the name. Mission Indradhanush is a program of government of India to vaccinate all unvaccinated kids, including pregnant mothers. Indradhanush scheme is a program, 7-point program of government of India for banking reform. Both are different, name is same, so sometimes you will get confused. दोनों को differentiate करके रखिए. ठीक है. तो मिशन इंद्रधनुष गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज इंप्लीमेंटिंग. रिसेंटली देयर वाज सम प्रॉब्लम एंड ऑल. और सबसे बड़ी बात है इट्स वी हैव वैक्सीनेशन फॉर मीजल्स एंड रूबेला. इजीली वैक्सीनेशन है MMR. The vaccine name which is measles, mumps and rubella vaccine. MMR vaccine. Simply introduce it and it works. I hope things will work. Anyway, so these are the things. Abhinav, there are two schemes I discussed. एक है Mission Indradhanush. We discussed two things there here. One you have is Mission Indradhanush. It is the government of India's program to vaccinate all the kids, including pregnant women. एक है Indradhanush scheme. It's a scheme, 7-point scheme for banking reform. It's a different scheme. Clear? So this is all we had. Please remember. What you have to remember, prelims you need to remember what is the name of the disease. Few points, like it is a viral or not viral, RNA-based vaccine is available. And the name of government scheme to remove this, I told you in the Dhanush scheme, and here ek naam hai. National strategic plan for eradicating measles and rubella. More than sufficient, do not do investigation. But maybe other countries like Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Korea, Timor, Sri Lanka, Maldives, they have also eradicated measles and rubella. We are the only country remaining. That's it. This news, the third news, I think third or fourth news will be the Holocaust education in India. This is very important from ethical perspective and quality in governance perspective. Holocaust. It is a name given to the Jew genocide. I will give you a very small process. You can easily identify any country, including yours, whether you're moving toward a genocide. Simple step would be, Pella, find an enemy. You have a lot of problem in your life, find an enemy to blame. Say, for example, Jews में क्या हुआ? First World War में Germany lost. Then Hitler started asserting that every problem is because of Jews. Jews were responsible for the loss of war. Jews were responsible for the deprivation of Germany. Jews were responsible for everything. अगर छींक भी आ जाए हिटलर को तो Jews were responsible. That's what you have. First, you find an enemy to blame everything. You could not prevent Corona. They were responsible. I hope सबको याद है तबलीगी जमात है. मतलब क्या बोले मीडिया के बारे में क्या बोला जाए इस बारे में. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस इज व्हाट बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट said. Bombay High Court giving a ruling over Tablighi Jamaat freeing all the people to go to their country. It said a very powerful line. When a political government is in power, it finds scapegoats to hide its failures. Indicting statement. When a political government is in power, it finds scapegoats to hide its failure. And that's part one. That's how German may have. Blame everything on the Jew. Because people were looking for somebody to kill. Blame something. Of course, you would not like to blame yourself, you blame somebody else. That's how it is. So that's not a disaster, but nonetheless, what we can do about it. The first stage is finding an enemy. Once you find that enemy, you pinpoint that enemy, then you blame them for everything. That is right. Yes, that's the third stage. First stage, you will find an enemy to pinpoint all your problems. Second stage, you blame them for everything that is happening. Because you find an enemy, now blame them. Third stage is dehumanization. Third stage is dehumanization. It's a slow process. First, you have to find an enemy, you convince the entire population to blame them for everything what is happening. Then you will move to the third stage, which is the more critical stage, dehumanize. ये बहुत critical है. देखिए, it can backfire. Dehumanization वाला बहुत critical होता है. If dehumanization stage backfires on you, then you are done. If it does not backfire, you can successfully dehumanize a community. हाँ, वो जैसे आजकल एक नया नैरेटिव बना है. India has to fight on 2.5 fronts. मतलब क्या बोला जाए? इसमें I always say and I openly unbiased about it that only threat to India's democracy and India's only threat to India's democracy and India as a nation is its media. हमारी मीडिया के अलावा कोई थ्रेट नहीं है हमारे. They are manufacturing a new narrative they are shaping that India has to fight on 2.5 fronts. ये क्या है 2.5? Two fronts, China and Pakistan. 0.5 are the internal people. कौन है ये internal people? You know, you can guess कौन है ये. This kind of narrative shaping जो है 2.5 fronts of war, बाकी term which I cannot say, but you know. The third stage is dehumanization. पहले में they found an enemy that is Jew, and they blamed them for everything. The third stage they dehumanize. And when you are successfully able to convince the entire population that the enemy that you have find is below humanity, then कहानी खत्म. And the fourth stage is a genocide. I will not say anything beyond this. आप judge कर लीजिए what is going where. इस country में क्या चल रहा है? You can analyze. I believe all of you are seeing. So this is the stage. Dehumanization, I am again saying, is a very critical stage. When an entire population start to believe that this community, this identity is a threat, कहानी खत्म. But then उसके बाद genocide के नीचे कुछ नहीं रुकता. Why? Because the people you radicalize, I always radicalize people are like bomb. If they will not explode on you, somebody else, they will explode on you. Radicalized people are like bombs. If they will not explode on somebody else, they will explode on you itself. उसके लिए वर्क करना चाहिए. इसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में एजुकेशन की बात. The article that I was doing this, we have to introduce Holocaust education. और चाहो तो इसमें आप वो भी इंक्लूड कर सकते हो. बिल्कुल देखिए, इट्स अ फिट केस. इट्स अ फिट केस फॉर कश्मीरी पंडित. Exactly same process happened with Kashmiri Pandit. ऐसा नहीं है कि some particular communities being blamed. ऐसा the history is replete with such kind of genocide. Same thing happened in case of आपका Sri Lanka. Same thing happening right now in Myanmar. Same thing happening in China. Uyghur Muslims, Myanmar, Rohingya Muslims, Sri Lanka for a long time Tamil nationalists, Kashmiri Pandit. They all are basically the victim of the same person. But ठीक है, देखते क्या होता है. So this is that's in that context this news was there. We have to introduce Holocaust education in India so that people will get to know why this Holocaust happens. People will need to be taught so that the kid may know why this happened. They must be inculcated with this kind of knowledge. सबको process clear है and what is happening? Why we are discussing this news? वही सब ये लिखा है. Comprehend the mechanism and contributing element, recognizing the condition, Holocaust relevance and impact transcendence. Again, देखिए एक चीज मैं what I can analyze, whatever knowledge that I have, little knowledge, which is in email, that you can call Muslims as the new Jew. Some similarities are there, some differences. Let's see. Remember, these Jews were not persecuted only in Germany. Jews were killed in entire Europe. UN की एक प्रॉब्लम है दमन. UN is a failed body. Why? Because of P5 members. कभी मौका लगेगा तो we will discuss UN in detail also. UN में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि there is P5 members and they are divided. अब इमेजिन कीजिए Uyghur Muslims are in China. UN क्या कर लेगा उनके खिलाफ? China is a permanent member. UN cannot be used against China. Permanent members की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है because they wield veto. इसको we will do some एक बार डिटेल में we will do UN and its failure. So next, yes, यही मैं फर्क बताने वाला हूँ. There's some similarity, some difference. Because अब yes, yes, it can have enough. It can. अगर veto को हम end कर दें UN में, तो things can improve a lot. UN can function right finally. But there's some reason why veto was brought. इसके लिए फिर हमें compare करना पड़ेगा League of Nations. Veto was a political bargain. At that point of time, veto was necessary. Otherwise, UN may not have become a real thing or real international body. Because these are superpowers, they divide them. They keep on dividing them. It's not even a single country who ate all of them. India की we are not. I'm talking about the world. Comprehensive overview लेते हैं. So I said that Muslims could be the new Jew. There are two perspectives here. एक difference है and similarity. Similarity में we need to understand that Islamophobia is a norm. कहीं भी चले जाइए. For example, what is happening in US? US में the white Christian majority is dominating. मैं इंडिया की बात नहीं करूँगा because I love my freedom. Go to other countries. What is happening in क्या बोलते हैं China? What is happening in Myanmar? What is happening around the world? Let alone China, Myanmar. Around the world, including Europe, Islam is considered as a troublemaker. The enemy has been found, at least. Same was with the Jews. The Jews were considered as the enemy there. They were considered the problem for everything. And the entire Europe, remember this, the Jews were killed in the entire Europe. Hitler took it to another extreme. That's why we criticize Hitler. He took it to another extreme. But they were persecuted entirely. फर्क समझते हैं कि Islamophobia is a new norm. The way at one point of time, the term that we use is anti-Semitism. The term that is hatred of Jew, that term is anti-Semitism. The way anti-Semitism was a norm in the world, not in India and other country, but most of the world, especially most of the Europe, anti-Semitism was a norm. Similarly, Islamophobia is a new norm. But difference ये है कि Jew had no country of their own. They could not run toward any country. That's why Israel was created. Israel was created as a country for the Jews so that they can have a land of their own, not dominated subjugative as. Muslim, on the other hand, have around 22 countries of their own. This is the critical difference, that they have a place to run if, God forbid, things goes very south in the world. But nonetheless, Islamophobia is the new anti-Semitism. Comparison is clear to everyone. मैं तो इसी तर्ज पे कहता हूँ, देखिए, not only Jew Holocaust, we should also have this Kashmiri Pandit, this Sikh genocide. It was not a Sikh riot. Government कुछ भी बोले, it was a genocide, pogrom, clear pogrom. This Kashmiri Pandit, the Sikh genocide, and all the riots, जितने भी आपके 2002 गुजरात riots, this मुजफ्फर, जितने भी riots, मैं तो कहता हूँ make a museum of this and name that museum national shame of India. It is not to demean India or not to defame India. This museum, big name, national shame of India in the capital, to remind every Indian. Grandpa said there were villages with no single male population left. कहाँ की बात हो रही? इंडिया में? अच्छा ओके दिस सिख वाला. दिल्ली में it was severe. So what I believe is there should be a national shame of India, a big, बड़ा सा. I know a lot of people will disagree. तो वो कहेंगे you are defaming the Bharat Mata. No, this is not for the foreigner people. जिन्हें सोचते रहिए. आप एक बार सर्च करिएगा. Such kind of genocidal places are in US. US में they have created memorial. Where they have shown graphic realities. वहाँ पे they have made statues of real life atrocities that were committed on the black people. We need something like in India. और जितने भी हुए कश्मीरी पंडित, सिख genocide, जो भी ड्रामे हुए, all these programs that have happened in India, they must be on display with all graphic reality, real life. कोई shame नहीं, कुछ नहीं छुपाना. It should be remembered and it should be made the part of the curriculum of India's school. हर school में, every school will take their student to this museum every year at least once. हाँ, मैनहट्टन वगैरह आप मुझे नाम भी नहीं आ रहा था. वेरी गुड प्रोजेक्ट. इससे क्या होगा? The people, देखिए, the graphic that they will see in this museum that will clearly list India's shame, national shame, पंडित कश्मीरी पंडित सिख genocide. तो जिससे क्या होगा? The people will get liberated. कि हो मत एक तरफ में चीजें किन के वो है. But nonetheless, ये so these are the something that we have to discuss, national shame and all. So this was the news. सबको clear है the Holocaust education for India? Any question in this news? Very good. देखिए, this paper is important for a GS paper 4. ऐसे में भी लिख सकते हैं. अभी इसको देखते हैं. This is another ethical issue. Mandatory minimum sentences. But it is mandatory minimum sentence. इस पे आपको एक चीज समझनी पड़ेगी. I told you earlier also. Crimes are subjective. Something that may be a crime today may not be a crime tomorrow. जैसे example लेते हैं. Another dimension, because then you will understand this. For example, a marital rape. How many of you think it should be legal? It should be illegalized. Currently, there is no law on marital rape. How many of you think it should be? और कोई बाकी लोग no opinion. Marital rape basically means forceful intercourse with your wife. Simply stated. Simple component है consent नहीं. No. Male हो या female हो. The thing is no means no. ठीक है. Again, it is not a crime today, but tomorrow because government is. मेरा भी वोट आपकी तरफ है. It should be illegalized. मेरा भी काउंट लो 4. ठीक है. अच्छा, what I was saying. इसमें एक practical problem है शिवानी. We need to understand why it is not made illegal so far. There is a big practical problem because what we have seen from the operation of women laws. India में women हाँ यही problem है. ये problem है. The problem is when you are having an intercourse. मान लीजिए got married, the first night you have an intercourse. कोई paper तो sign नहीं हुआ था. But every time we do not have a punch card where you are having sex, you punch yes, punch no. The thing is marital rape how you will prove. I am again agreeing that it's a ethical problem. It must be legal. But problem ये proof कैसे करेंगे? It was forceful properly. A law must protect everyone. Just because we are sentimental about something So I am not saying this the counter argument that is being presented is proof करना मुश्किल है. Unmarried में it's easy to prove. By if there is intercourse, हाँ, कुछ physical indicators हो सकते हैं that we can use some forceful actions and all. But nonetheless, marital rape को consentful है या नहीं prove करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, खासकर when you are married. इसलिए इस पे डिबेट चल रहा है कि should it be make it illegal or not. उसको रीजन क्लियर है, but main thing we were discussing crime. हाँ, इंजरी को कैसे प्रूव करेंगे शिवानी? ग्राफिक्स में नहीं जा सकते, बट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल लाइक डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सेक्स. ठीक है, जरूरी नहीं है कि पीसफुल हो. हर तरह के फोक प्लेस भी होते हैं, कई चीजें होती हैं, कैन नॉट से एवरीथिंग, और उसमें प्रूव नहीं कर सकते ना. गॉड समझिए बात को, थिंग इज प्रूव मुश्किल हो जाता है. अग्री कर रहा हूँ मैं शिवानी, यस दे कुड बी, कुछ केस में आप बता सकते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल इज द वुमन इज बिटन, ये कहीं पे जानबूझ के करा दिया, सम सिग्नल्स व्हिच यू कैन फाइंड, बट आई एम सेइंग कि देयर आर हाई चांसेस इट मे नॉट बी. कुछ केस में हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, कुछ केस में इजीली विजिबल हो जाता है, उस केस में एट्रोसिटीज का केस बन जाएगा. एनीवे मैरिटल रेप वी वर नॉट डिस्कसिंग राइट नाउ. बहुत इश्यूज होते हैं, इसमें आपको समझना पड़ेगा. डोमेस्टिक जो वुमन लॉज है, दे आर वेरी पावरफुल इन इंडिया. इफ अ वुमन गोस टू अ पुलिस स्टेशन एंड सेज दैट माय फैमिली इज हरासिंग मी, पूरा फैमिली जेल के अंदर होती है विदाउट एनी एफआईआर. एफआईआर कम्स लेटर. तो दे आर पावरफुल लॉज, एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस की रिपोर्ट बताती है दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द वुमन लॉज आर मिसयूज्ड. व्हाई इट इज डू? Why most of the women laws are misused? Because फर्क समझिए, साइकोलॉजी समझिए. A woman who can enforce her laws, if she is that much connected. अच्छा, ये तो हमने डिस्कस भी किया था. I believe we had discussed this earlier. The problem is the women who need the laws are either unaware or incompetent. The woman who does not need the law misuse them. इसलिए I have two different reports. One report says 33% of Indian women experience domestic violence, and they have reported yes in a survey. But when you look at the cases, most of the cases are absorbed. बहुत चीज होती है, आई एग्री, इट्स अ वेरी हार्ड. खासकर फैमिली आपको बर्डन करती है, स्पेशली योर ओन फैमिली. नॉट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट नॉट अ हस्बैंड फैमिली, योर मदर्स, योर रियल बर्थ मदर एंड फादर. दे प्रेशराइज कि डू नॉट ब्रेक द फैमिली. एक बार हुआ था. बस मैं एक चीज हमेशा कहता हूँ, वंस एन अब्यूजर ऑलवेज एन अब्यूजर. आई होप आपने वो मूवी देखी थी थप्पड़. हैव यू सीन दैट मूवी? इफ नॉट, डू वॉच इट. हाईली रिकमेंडेड. Do watch the Thappad movie, Taapsee Pannu's movie. Very beautiful movie. इसमें what happens? Taapsee Pannu was slapped by her husband once, and she initiates the divorce proceeding. उस पे इतना प्रेशर आता है, everyone, including her lawyer, everyone says कि यार एक ही तो थप्पड़ था. Why you are getting divorced for just a single slap? And he's deeply remorsed. He's saying sorry and everything is there. Understand this. It's the beginning. थप्पड़ यहाँ पे ये नहीं था. She was trying to emphasize कि थप्पड़ मारा गया, it's the starting. हाँ, नहीं मार सकता. थप्पड़ मारा गया, और ये मैं बोथ सेक्स में कह रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट जस्ट सेइंग कि वुमन के केस में, हस्बैंड के केस में भी. द वुमन, फॉर एग्जांपल, एनएफएचएस के मुताबिक 5% ऑफ मेंस हैव आल्सो रिपोर्टेड डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस. अब मैन के केस में अलग प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. मर्दानगी का सवाल है. यू कैन नॉट गो आउटसाइड. बताओगे तो मजाक बन जाएगा, बीवी से पिट के आया है. ठीक है? तो ये और प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है उनके साथ. एनीवे मेंटल हेल्थ काफी डिस्कस कर लिया. बहुत चीज होती है. सोशल बायसेस आर वेरी हाई. Nonetheless, very beautiful movie. Do watch it. तो मैं क्राइम्स पे आ रहा था, जल्दी से लेट अस डू. क्राइम्स. क्राइम्स मींस समथिंग दैट इज immoral today may not be moral. जैसे marital rape we were discussing. It is not a crime today, but may become a crime tomorrow. The debate is going on. You never know. So it's highly subjective what I'm saying. Judge specific होती है. Remember this. Every judgment is judge specific. Depending upon the morality of the judge, depending upon the ethos, the values of a judge, the judgment varies. For example, there was a case which was highly criticized. Supreme Court reduced the let of the death penalty of a person who raped and killed a 6-year-old girl. पहले आप मुझे बताइए, गुड जजमेंट बैड जजमेंट. और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सही किया गलत किया by letting off a person from death penalty raping and killing a 6-year-old girl. सुप्रीम कोर्ट let it off शिवानी. दैट पेनल्टी को हटा दिया था. सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड अ स्टेटमेंट देयर एवरी, हाँ वो मुझे लग रहा था वी कैन वाइडली अग्री ये तो ज्यादा ही हो गया. हाँ वही मैं कह रहा, तो ज्यादा ही हो गया, लिबरलिज्म का हाई स्टैंडर्ड हो गया. बट ठीक है, जज का देखिए व्हाट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट वाज सेइंग देयर, logic was very sound. They said every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future, every saint has a past. The basic thing remember about justice. अगर इंटरव्यू में कभी पूछा जाए, do not give overarching answer कि मार देंगे काट देंगे. Justice is about reform, not punishment. याद रखिएगा. Justice never aims to punish you. It aims to reform you to a good person. That was the psychology. They even let off. Why I'm saying this? Judges first. The judges who were sitting on this petition of 6-year-old girl raped and killed, they thought that their morality thought that even this person, this heinous criminal, even this person has right to live. Even this person has some element in him that can be reformed. Logic समझ में आ रहा है? Why Supreme Court said so? Again, I am saying we can agree or disagree. वो बात अलग है, मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट का लॉजिक बता रहा हूँ. I believe इसकी कम्यूट किया गया था. I believe. I think that penalty was absorbed. The life imprisonment कर दिया गया था. But nonetheless, इसमें बहुत ड्रामा हुआ था कि you are doing this, you are doing that. But that was Supreme Court's logic, which I believe. तो मेन बात मैं क्या समझाना चाह रहा हूँ, this is a severe case. This is the highest case where I believe if I ask 10 people without telling them whatever I have told them, I can guarantee 9 at least. एक हो सकता है, कुछ होते हैं. At least I can guarantee 9 people will agree that this event was bad. 9 people. So morality. That's why Supreme Court instituted an idea of in Mohammed Hasim versus State of UP case, mandatory minimum sentence. Supreme Court said that there are certain crimes, particularly crimes related to children, POCSO में, prevention of children from sexual offences. इसमें basically anyone who is, remember this is a gender neutral law. It covers both male and female. Anyone who is below 18 years of age and is sexually assaulted, any form of sexual, even minor assault, सारे assault इसमें covered. Partial assault, full assault, whatever assaults are there, they're covered. ऐसे crimes से Supreme Court said कि there should be at least minimum punishment, so that whatever judge may come, whatever morality they have, whatever values they have, the minimum must be given. इस पे debate is going on. Supreme Court may revise this because इसमें a petition was filed on minimum sentencing by gang. There was a minor girl below the age of 12. She was gang raped. उसमें petition चल रही है. Supreme Court is debating. I don't know, but maybe the judgment. But I believe Supreme Court is likely to uphold mandatory minimum sentence. Clear है सबको? What is the issue? Ethical dimension involved here. और जहां तक बात करें इसकी, it's highly, अब जैसे आप इसमें बात करता हूँ. Let's say 36-year-old boy have sex with 15-year-old girl. Consensual. What do you think? Justified, not justified? 36-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl. Daman is saying not justified. ठीक है, बाकी लोग and say consensual. Keep consensual word in mind. Then give the judgment. You all are the judges. ठीक है. Daman Abhay saying justified. Daman Krishna not. Chandrachud is a highly liberal person. Just like me, I am also a highly liberal person. 15 years को कितना पता होता है, ठीक है, बाकी not. So I believe by majority this judgment is passed that the person here, the 36-year-old boy, has committed an offense of POCSO and will be put behind bars. ठीक है. Okay, अब इसमें why I took this judgment because there are numerous high court judgment. पहला नंबर तो that you are saying that her mind may not be evolved, तो इसमें I don't know, maybe वो भी सकता है. 18 years case, that's why we keep because we believe कि by 18 बेसिकली मानता कि 21 ईयर्स तक योर माइंड मैच्योर्स, बाय 30 ईयर यू एक्वायर एवरीथिंग। 30 ईयर के बाद टू चेंज योर माइंड इज वर्चुअली इम्पॉसिबल। इसलिए यूपीएससी चाहता है टू रिड्यूस द एज। यूपीएससी चाहता है टू रिड्यूस द एज ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स टू अप टू 26 at least, because by 30 you have made up your mind, you have all the values imbibed. To change a person after 30 is virtually impossible. इसलिए यंग किड आएंगे तो यंग को आप मोल्ड कर सकते हो। यूपीएससी कैन मोल्ड यू थ्रू ट्रेनिंग एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर। ये उनका सोचना है बेसिकली। आशीबानी बोलिए। हाँ, यू आर वेस्टिंग प्राइम ऑफ यूथ। पता है मुझे, पता है, आई नो दैट। I've seen a lot of people who waste prime। देखिए आपका 20s में ही होता है। 20s is the prime of the youth where you have to enjoy your life, and उसी में हो जाती है चीजें। Sacrifice, necessary sacrifice. If you have a dream, then you have to choose. You can choose worldly pleasure, or you can choose chase a goal which after that will mean nothing। तो एक चीज याद रखिएगा, whatever you achieve in your life, you will repent the thing you did not achieve when you will die। अब दैट बैट पे होगा ना, you will repent the thing you sacrificed, not the thing you got, the thing you sacrificed you will repent। कोई चीज जो छोड़ दी ना, बिल्कुल यूनिवर्सल है। You I कोई भी चीज जो आपने छोड़ी, फॉर एग्जांपल आप आईएएस बन गए, you spend your 20s, entire 20s you became an IAS 20, तो आपने जो 8 साल गवाए, you will repent everything। काश वो 8 साल होते, कितने मजे करता। ये कर दिया। अगर आपने मजे ही मजे कर लिए 28 तक, then you will repent, काश पढ़ लियो तो IAS बन जाता। तो बैलेंस क्या कर सकते हैं? Nonetheless, burger would be better। हाँ, ह्यूमन बायसनेस है वैसे। आजीविका और वो भी होता है चरवाका। चरवाका फिलॉसफी भी इसी तरह से। इट सेज जो है यही है, एन्जॉय करो, निकलते बनो। डू नॉट थिंक अबाउट दिस भगवान, गॉड एंड एवरीथिंग। एन्जॉय योर लाइफ टू द फुल, एन्जॉय योर लाइफ व्हाटएवर यू हैव, एक्सप्लोर एवरीथिंग। कुछ छोड़ो मत जिंदगी में, एंड देन गो होम। गो होम मीन्स मतलब मर जाओ। नाइस फिलॉसफी। आई एम आल्सो अ फॉलोअर ऑफ चरवाका। 36 years and 50। तो इसमें देखिए why I gave this example, because it varies from court to court। There's some high courts who have upheld such kind of cases। इतना वास्ट तो नहीं, but they have upheld teenage girl, मतलब below 18 year of age, and boy above 18, adult basically। So they have upheld it because the sex was consensual, so it was not under POCSO। Some high courts have said it was under POCSO। So what I'm trying to say is vary from judge to judge, depending upon the morality and values, it varies from everyone। For that judge, they believe that a person autonomy is important। The society must not dictate। 15-year-old girl हुआ तो क्या हुआ? She has her mind of her own। If she has given the consent, so be it। समाज कौन होता है डिक्टेट करने वाला? समाज तो कुछ भी बोलता है। For example, सैफ एंड करीना, they have I believe 10 or 12 years of difference in their marriage। बकवास करते हैं लोग। When he got married, she was a girl। She came to his marriage, and he said, "Beta can I fly हो?" And then she married that beta। He married that beta। तो समाज की क्या है, वो तो कुछ भी बोलते हैं। हाँ, प्रियंका निक में भी यही केस। हाँ, because करीना was very young when she came to his marriage ना, तो उसके बाद when they got married, तो इसलिए बकवास करता है। समाज की क्या है, देखते हैं everything। Anyway, so these are the dimensions that we have to discuss। That minimum sentence जो होता है, minimum sentence is basically so that this every judge has their own morality, their own values, their own feelings। Based on that, they give the judgment। Within the law, it varies widely। So based on that, the Supreme Court thought कि minimum judgment ठीक रहेगा। Right now, it is under review। If things works fine, if it does not work, देखेंगे क्या होगा। अब आते हैं last news, which I believe very very important for GS paper 3, health। इसमें I want to ask you first thing, then I will move on। What is the most important issue in health in India? तो बता सकता है मुझे? What do you think is the most important issue in health infrastructure or health sector of India? Disease नहीं है बेटा, nutrition। Okay, fundamental of fundamental। Yes। बहुत issue आप point कर सकते हैं, less doctors, infrastructure, this and that। Priya is also writing something। Yes, affordability बहुत issue. The issue that we are discussing, that's why I include this Cuban healthcare system example is Amartya Sen. I believe I had talked about this. Amartya Sen. He has given a very simple thing. He has said, जब तक आपके पास अमीरों के लिए अलग अस्पताल है, you will never. हाँ मैं बोलिए. Writing something big. अफोर्डेबिलिटी की उसकी अलग रीजन है इकोनॉमिकली बिकॉज पर्सनल वेल्थ इज डिक्लाइनिंग. आप नोटिस कीजिएगा, आई थिंक प्रीवियस सैटरडे हमने डिस्कस किया था, मोर एंड मोर नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आर एनरोलिंग इन गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स नाउ. गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में एनरोल करें, व्हिच इज अ बैड इंडिकेटर. पीपल्स वेल्थ इज डिक्लाइनिंग एंड वी नो व्हाई. व्हेन you somebody, it's a basically a statement. You have a country with third richest person and 50% malnourished women, one third stunted children. It's a statement in itself. कुछ बताने की जरूरत नहीं, आप समझ जाइए. Inequality because of neoliberal governance. पहली चीज. अब आते हैं इशू पे. देखिए अमर्त्य सेन ने क्या बोला. अमर्त्य सेन said, as long as you have the schools and hospital for the rich, the poor will never have it. Why? ऐसे समझिए. Let's suppose you're a teacher in a government school. You're a teacher in a government school or a doctor in a government hospital. You know what kind of patient come to you. You know most of the patient, 99% of the patient are poor or middle class. Middle maybe lower middle. So you have under no pressure. You can visit hospital. You don't feel like you can go to home, go your private clinic, do your private practice. Why? Because you know the people who come to these places are the poor and the disadvantaged. Now imagine this. You have single कजनट कब होता है. यस, कजनट इन्वर्टेड यू कर्व की बात आई बिलीव आप कर रहे हैं. हाँ. वो कजनट इन्वर्टेड यू कर्व होता है, बट दैट डज नॉट वर्क द थिंग दैट यू आर थिंकिंग. तो थ्योरी है which says inequality rises when the country progress over time, trickle down happens and inequality decreases. इस तरह से थ्योरी बन जाती है. कहने की बात है, ऐसा नहीं होता. कहने की बात है, ऐसा नहीं होता, बिकॉज व्हाट वी आर सीइंग इज inequality डिफरेंस जो आता है ठीक है सुनने में, पर अभी ऐसा नहीं हो रहा. अभी व्हाट वी आर हैविंग इज के टाइप रिकवरी. करंटली इंडिया इस तरीके से चल रहा है. ऐसे कुछ चल रहा था, फिर यहाँ पे कोरोना, मोदी जी का डीमोनेटाइजेशन. देखिए मोदी डीमोनेटाइजेशन स्टार्टेड इंडिया's economic decline. Corona and Ukraine war added to that. After that, we got like this. This is called K-shaped recovery. Economic survey coined this term, K-shaped recovery. But India has witnessed is K-shaped recovery. The rich is here, and the middle class, poor, and everyone else is here. This is what has happened in India. After this, in three big incidents of demonetization, Corona and Ukraine war, rich went to the top, and the poor, rest of the people went to the bottom. This is K-shaped recovery. That's why you may be the world's fifth largest economy with 50% malnourished. इसलिए मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ there is no point of being $7 trillion economy. मैं 3 ट्रिलियन है, मैं कहता हूँ $5 trillion. Yes, GST भी उसमें काउंट कर लीजिए. But there are a lot of reasons. Main है neoliberal governance. Neoliberal governance which help the people, rich people largely. So that's why I always say, you may become even I would say you become the world's richest economy. Doesn't matter. If you have 50% of the people hungry, तो क्या फायदा? That's what Gandhi ji said. Gandhi said सर्वोदय. Rise of one. For Gandhi, economy did not matter. For Gandhi, business did not matter. For Gandhi, food to every mouth mattered. That's what I say. You may, मैं कहता हूँ, we may decline. We are currently third, fifth largest. मैं कहता हूँ 10th largest Punjab. Doesn't matter. But if everyone has sufficient food to eat, then 10th position is better than 50% malnourished women in 5th position. choice is yours nonetheless. चलिए वो डिबेट हो गई जल्दी से. Yes, neoliberalism, US values, they are accepted as common sense. Amartya Sen, अब इसमें क्या होता है? Imagine this: if you are a government hospital doctor and you know that both rich, poor, and everyone comes here, so you have no idea the next patient may be. Maybe your next patient, your next student in your class, may be the son of the health secretary or the education. Imagine. उसी में हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. तो बात समझ में आ रही है? अगर गवर्नमेंट देयर इज वन हॉस्पिटल फॉर एवरीवन, rich comes there, poor comes there. The advantage for the poor is the rich person who is coming there is connected. Imagine the health secretary himself has to visit a government primary health care center. Currently, these all people have 5-star Fortis, Max Health Care. वहाँ जाते हैं. If they will go to the same government primary health care where a common person goes, that influential health secretary will ensure that that hospital has world-class facilities because he goes there. बात समझ में आई? What Amartya Sen is saying, that if everyone goes to the same hospital and same school, then things will improve automatically because the rich and connected people will ensure that the facilities provided by the government are A-notch. A-notch rather than अगर गरीब जाएंगे तो उन्हें पता है गरीब आ रहा है. That person is not connected. That person cannot do anything. But a rich person can do everything. The teacher will always go to class and teach because they never know the person sitting in class may be the son of health or education secretary himself. He will go to this home and say, Papa, the teacher did not come. The education secretary immediately will dial to the education officer. Next day, the teacher is rusticated. That is what the Amartya Sen said about the Cuban example. Compare Cuba with the US, a country much smaller than US, country much weaker than US economically. That's why I say, yeah, the bogus argument, jumlas of 3 trillion, 5 trillion does not work. There's no point of being a 3 trillion, 5 trillion economy when your people are dying out of hunger. It's some drama here, good for the headlines, nothing for real people. Cuba, a very small economy, socially disadvantaged vis-a-vis US, has longer life expectancy than US, 72 versus 71. India may be at 70. Polio, TB, typhoid, diarrhea, all have, yes, Cuba communist country. Malnutrition in Cuba is just 0.7, the US made is 5. Despite economic, social, health indicators, in all indicators, Cuba is better than US. The US is the world superpower. It has no dearth of money and private corporations. Private corporation does not work well. And how they have ensured? By government and health. All of the Cuban people are covered in the national health system controlled by Cuban government state. They get all medical facilities as a basic right. That's really huge. But do you think this will happen ever? So this contest is a small case study, but very good for your CS paper. A question: do you think such kind of thing will happen in India? Never. हमारे पास जो already whatever private sector, whatever government sector we have is already being privatized at a rapid pace. Again, I'm saying privatization is not bad. Yes, the privatization is not bad, but rapid privatization is bad because few people will buy everything. The today's rich will buy entire India if we go for rapid privatization. If you go for slow privatization, then somebody like you who may be the future entrepreneur, you never know. हो सकता है आप में से कोई who could not clear civil services may become the biggest entrepreneur India has ever seen. In that scenario, you can buy the national wealth later. But right now, none of you can buy. So dispersion of wealth must be there. And for that, if you want to do privatization, go it slowly. The way Congress was doing. Since 1991, se, privatization started by Congress. This neoliberalism adopted by Congress government. But the slow pace was very slow and piecemeal. At the same time, they strengthened government sector. The PSUs, okay, public sector undertakings. During Manmohan Singh times, a lot of PSUs were made. During this government, not even a single PSU has been made. Rather sold, जो existing है वो भी sell कर दी. So clear is about governance technology. Ideology. The current government is neoliberal, and they believe market fundamentalism is a solution. और हमने पढ़ाई है, but Emmanuel Wallerstein has said, Emmanuel Wallerstein has called neoliberalism as a pig's philosophy. Yes, neoliberalism is a pig's philosophy. देखते हैं how things will go. Everyone is suffering. You people are also suffering. देखिए, अभिनव, I am not a person who worship PM. I don't want any PM. I want laws. I want citizen charter. I want right to food. I want right to work. देखिए, पीएम आते रहते हैं, जाते रहते हैं, कोई भी बन जाए, राहुल बन जाए, बाकी तो दिस पीएम बिकम अगेंस्ट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर. Law empowers. You have right to education, so you can go to any school and get education. Whosoever may be the PM. You got the point. कोई भी बन जाए, I don't care. All I care is law should be there. पास्ट में देखिए सबकी मिक्स्ड रिस्पॉन्स रहा है, बट आई विल से कि वाजपेयी, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी एंड मनमोहन सिंह, these two people I believe were good prime minister. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, coalition government again, we got became a nuclear power and he worked a lot. प्रधानमंत्री सड़क योजना, ठीक है, ग्राम सड़क योजना and a lot of program. मनमोहन सिंह के टाइम में बहुत काम, बहुत ज्यादा. आपका राइट टू एजुकेशन, राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन, ऑल राइट टू एजुकेशन, राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन, फॉरेस्ट राइट्स है, आपका राइट टू फूड 2013, whistle blower protection है, all the things that empower you and me for मनमोहन सिंह टाइम. एम्पावरमेंट काफी हुआ है. इसीलिए इफ यू रिमेंबर मैंने बताया था, he gave a very beautiful statement when he was leaving the office. कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट हमेशा होती है. कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट में फायदा क्या होता है? You have to listen to everyone. तो कोलिशन, I always say strongman governments are not good. देखते हैं वर्ल्ड वॉर 3 होगी, 4 होगी, but I will conclude today's class with Manmohan Singh's statement, but he said very beautifully that history will be kinder to me than India's media. बाकी आप समझिए. When he was about to end, he said, history will be kinder to me than India's media. And he was right, I believe. Chale, nonetheless. So these were the some few news that we have to cover. So with that note, we shall end today's class. मिलते हैं next Saturday. And for other students who are in different batches, we will meet for respective IR, quality, whatever may be the class. Bye everyone. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy. Be safe and happy learning. Very welcome. Priya, they are on portal. Previous class की भी मैंने upload कर दी थी. आपने check नहीं करा, check it. Previous class की भी upload है. इस class की मैं कर दूंगा. If you cannot access anyone, do ask your mentor. वो आपको provide कराएंगे अगर कोई problem होगी. क्लास के पहले एक्चुअली लिंक का इशू आता है शिवानी. लिंक का इशू आता है ना, लिंक बनाना होता है, उसके बाद ही अपलोड हो पाती है. पर ठीक है, आई विल लुक इनटू इट. अगर इफ इट इज फीजिबल बिफोर क्लास तो आई विल ट्राई टू अपलोड बिफोर. चलिए, विद दैट नोट, बाय एवरीवन, हैव अ नाइस डे. वी विल मीट अगेन.